Hey! Yes, guys, what's going on? Hopefully, you guys are doing all right, man. Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope you guys had a good Christmas, man. I certainly did. Hopefully, you guys are all good. Who we got in the chat then today, man? We got Colby, yes, Dash, Skies, Condino, Zohib, Adam Norman, Alec Johnson, Sam Martin, 7RA, Rico Lewis, Zayad. Sergio Gomez is in the house. Yes, Des Doyle, good to see you, man. Max OJ, Chadley, Lolly, Charlotte, yes, good to see you. Dash says we need a transfer talk tonight. There has been quite a lot of transfer news going over the last couple of days. I've seen a lot of stuff on Cody Gakpo as well. Obviously not involved in City, but just generally for the Premier League, pretty interesting. But yeah, guys, hopefully you all had a good Christmas, man. You know what I mean? I enjoyed myself, had a good time. Hopefully you guys did as well. Merry Christmas to everyone. Obviously got New Year coming up as well, which is a madness. But we must continue because the football is back. Obviously, we've seen Arsenal yesterday, loads of matches yesterday. Arsenal again getting the win. Disappointing. They just keep on winning, man. I can't lie. They seemingly just don't want to give up on this. They just seemingly just keep on going and going. Obviously, getting the win yesterday against West Ham. Yes, have madness. Yes, bro. Looking forward to the game against Leeds. Come on, City. Yes. This stream was actually going to be a press conference reaction stream. However, after I scheduled it and I was ready, because normally it happens at like 1:30 or 2, I was like, where's the press conference? I've not seen anything about the press conference. Anyway, got onto Bossman Freddie and was like, bruh, what's happening with the press conference today? And he said they're not really doing one. He answered some questions after the game against Liverpool, which is basically just being used as a press conference for this as well. So that's going to be tonight. So we might have to do another stream tonight. Might be a bit late to get on the press conference comments, and then this is just basically a normal stream. So that's the way that things are going to roll. Before we get into it, make sure you drop a like on the stream, man. Let's get those likes past 100. Subscribe to the channel as well if you need. Massive shout out to today's stream sponsor, the guys at Bet Victor. They've got their own YouTube channel where they upload weekly videos about the Premier League, loads of different talking points, and this week's is about who is the Premier League player of the season so far and who is the signing of the season so far. We'll have a little chat about that in a few moments' time because I know my answer. Yes, Verified coming in with a 3. Are we in trouble or can we still overtake Arsenal? I'm starting to worry a bit. They're looking mad strong. Well, let's have a little chat about Arsenal before we move into the Leeds thing, right? Because obviously they got the win yesterday. Obviously, good win. You know what I mean? West Ham are a decent side, obviously not doing as well this season as they have been doing previously. A little bit disappointing that West Ham went 1-0 up and then, conceded 2 pretty quick goals. 3 quick goals, really. You know what I mean? What was it? 3 goals in 15 minutes or something like that? 3 goals in 16 minutes? I don't know, I can't do the maths. But, that's just that's the story of West Ham this season, really. They're just not really... they're sitting there in 16th. If you think this time last year, they were up in the Champions League spots, you know what I mean? Up in that top 5, and they've just not done well this year. Arsenal, on the other hand, have now won 13 games, drawn 1 and lost 1. Obviously got the win yesterday. I thought they looked pretty decent, to be honest. I don't think it was anything special, but I just thought they looked pretty decent. I do think that West Ham were very poor, but you can only beat what's in front of you. All front 3 scoring and Nketiah getting a nice goal as well. There was a big question mark, wasn't there, about when Gabriel Jesus got injured, whether or not Arsenal would struggle with the lack of a replacement striker. The replacement striker, they do have one. It's Nketiah, but inexperience, hasn't really been tested at this level. Got himself a nice goal. Saka with a good finish as well. And he scored the other one, was it Martinelli, of course, who this season is having a really good season. So they're looking very strong. They extend their lead at the top of the table to, I think it's 8 points now over City. City do have a game in hand, but 8 points is not great. We need to get that down. But it doesn't just rain. It absolutely pours because yesterday, Newcastle going up against Leicester, who of course they have in the Carabao Cup as well. Leicester had a really poor start to the season. They did start to improve a little bit, but got absolutely battered yesterday off Newcastle. It was embarrassing, I thought, the Leicester performance. Yeah, they might have got 3-1 or twice, but on the whole, Newcastle were completely dominant. If you don't know why I'm talking about that, it's because now Newcastle are above City, sitting in 2nd position. Eddie Howe, at newly bought Saudi club Newcastle United, absolutely slamming it this season. Only lost 1 game all season. The draws are what costing them. But City have only lost 1 more game, only won 1 more game. Of course, we do have 2 games in hand over Newcastle. But that leaves City in a pretty dodgy position there, sitting in third place. Third place. Absolutely incredible. So yeah, we need to start putting a run together. Do you know what I mean? You know what we 2 losses in our last 5, 3 wins. It's not good enough at the moment because Arsenal are just romping home with the wins, man. So guys, let us know in the chat. Let's see what you've got. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Madness, yes. Realistically, when do Arsenal drop points? We must beat Arsenal twice when we play them. Well, this is becoming a very, very important issue now. You know, we do play Arsenal mid-February, 15th of February, we play Arsenal. We have extremely tough fixtures coming up. They have tough fixtures as well. Not as tough as City, but they do have tough fixtures. It's highly likely, in my opinion, that by the time we come to play Arsenal in 15th, I don't think we'll be top of the league. Just purely based on the fact that we've got really tricky fixtures. And Arsenal, whilst they do have tricky fixtures, they don't have as tricky fixtures as City. And I think that you're looking at them and the way that they're playing at the moment, you just can't see where they're going to drop points. So the answer to the question is yes, we are highly likely going to have to beat Arsenal home and away this season. Obviously, things might change. If Arsenal drop off, then yeah, you might be able to play Arsenal in that second game in April, and maybe you're at home. Maybe you don't need to win. Maybe you could take a point. Maybe you could lose. Who knows? But it's looking likely that, you know, we're going to probably have to beat them home and away the way it's going. So, yeah, I mean, they're playing very, very well here. Yo, Obeyed, coming in with a 10, gifted memberships for the chat. Yo, yes, Obeyed. Hopefully you had a good couple of days, my brother. Thank you very much for the 10 gifted. I only literally just seen it just when I looked at the chat there, man. So I've not seen who's got them, but GG's in the chat. Hopefully you put the dubs in the chat, man. I didn't see it. Thanks a lot, Obeyed, man. I appreciate that, bro. And Chadley Links. Member for 3 months says we need a win versus Leeds and get some form, LB, because Arsenal are looking strong and our fixtures are difficult, plus they're already a point. Yeah, I get it. You know, exactly what I'm saying, bro. I agree. We need to put a run together now. The problem is, it's going to be difficult for us to put a run together because of the fixtures that we've got, right? So now, let's just leave Arsenal there a second. You know, maybe we could do a full stream on Arsenal. I know people don't really like that. It's a City channel, don't talk about them. But, you know, at the end of the day, Arsenal are our main rivals for the league at the moment. So I think we should probably do like a full stream on them and look at their maybe possible vulnerabilities or whatever. But let's park that for a second and let's have a look at Leeds. Okay, on the face of it, you look at Leeds and you go, okay, they played 14 games this season, 4 wins, 3 draws, and 7 losses. 2 wins in the last 5 with 3 losses. Not had a great start to the season. In fact, they had a really poor start to the season under Marsh. However, they did sort of, you know, start putting a few results together, Leeds, and obviously that's what's got them a little bit further up the table. This is not an easy game, guys. It's not an easy game. Elland Road, anyone who's ever been to Elland Road will know that it's a difficult place to go, especially on a night match. You know, a night match is going to make it 10 times harder. You know, that's not going to be great. Let me just get this open. Let me get it open. Here we go. Yeah, I'm just getting their form yard open here so I can have a look at the form. Yeah, it's not going to be an easy place to go, this, guys. And, you know, I don't think we've particularly done very well since they've been promoted to the Premier League. Let's have a look at their recent record against us. So we beat them 4-0 last time away. The last time, and then we beat them 7-0 and 4-0 last season. That's great, you know what I mean? Love that. Season before, struggled. 2-1 loss at home. That was the one where they got us on the counter-attack in the last second. A little bit similar to Brentford. And we drew 1-0 away. I remember that one as well. So that we've only played them 4 times since they've been up. But, you know, we got a bit mixed record there. We did all right last season. I'm interested to see how we'll get on. If we look at their home record this season in the Premier League, Wolves 1-2-1. They beat Chelsea 3-0. They drew 1-1 against Everton. They drew 0-0 against Aston Villa. They lost 1-0 against Arsenal. They lost 3-2 against Fulham. And they won 4-3 against Bournemouth. So is that just 2 games? I'm pretty sure that was just 2 games that they dropped points in at home this season. And it was Arsenal 1-0 and Fulham 3-2. Pretty sure that's right, isn't it? Yeah. That's in the Premier League. So only 2 games at home. Leeds have dropped points not won this season. It's going to be tough. Anyone sitting here thinking, nah, this is going to be easy. We beat them 11-0 on aggregate last year. Nah, I don't think so. Don't get me wrong. If it is that, then I'll be absolutely buzzing. But is it going to be that? I don't know. I really, really don't know. Let's have a look at what you guys are saying, man, in the chat. Masson Perez, yes, it's going to be a really difficult match tomorrow. They're a physical team. They're an energetic team. And if your passing and speed of play isn't on top form, I think you're going to struggle. And the reason you're going to struggle is because they'll press you. Well, I expect them to press. Will they continue to do the pressing thing against City, given the results last season? Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. But I do think they'll probably press. And by the way, if there's any Leeds fans in the chat, let me know what you think about this, because obviously it's always good to get an opinion of the opposition fan. Let's have a look. They don't have Rafinha. So that's good. Yeah, of course. Obviously, I'm not there in it. Just get the W. I don't care. We just need to get the 3 points no matter what. LB, will Julian be back? I don't believe he will, no. I don't believe he will. Jesse March turned up against the big 6 teams. Look at Chelsea, Liverpool, etc. Yeah, I know. I mean, that Chelsea one was early, you know what I mean? It was, they still had Tuchel. And, you know, Arsenal only winning 1-0. That's a little bit of a worry, because I'm looking at the team that Arsenal put out that day, and it was a very strong side. So they only won 1-0. Who scored that goal that day? Who was it? Find out. Goal. Bukayo Saka. I think I remember it, actually. Yeah, I do. Right-footed shot. I'm pretty sure it hit it into like the roof of the net, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it's going to be difficult. Will Rico Lewis start? Says Kai. I would like to think by now, Kyle Walker is ready to go. Do you know what I mean? If you look at Kyle Walker, he played a couple of games in the World Cup. He's now been back a good week, probably 10 days, 2 weeks or whatever. I can't remember when he come back. Surely he's going to be right to go. I mean, the way that he played Rico Lewis against Liverpool was very, very good. I thought it was excellent. I thought it was really, really good. So I think Pep would be on the borderline of trust, because I think he knows that this Premier League is going to be really, really difficult. So I think Rico Lewis I don't think he's got the full trust of Pep yet, because that comes with time and experience. But I think he's very, very close. He's closer than Sergio Gomez, in my opinion, that's for sure. Jack Lee, would a member for 11 months. Yes, Jack, bro. Hopefully you're doing good, bro. Yes, I'll be at Ellen Road tomorrow. Going to be a proper away date, and hopefully 3 points. Yes, Jack, going to the game tomorrow. Yeah, mate, it's going to be a tough one, man. It's going to be a seriously tough game. And yeah, we need to make sure that we're up for it. Like I say, Leeds are no mugs. Two losses at home all season. In what? How many? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 in 8. It's a pretty decent record for a team that's sitting in 15th. Do you know what I mean? And they're a decent side. They've got good players. Let's have a look at their let's have a look at their team lineups that they've been playing. They've had a couple of friendlies in the during the World Cup as well. Let's have a look at like their sort of team here. Obviously that Meslier, I don't know how you pronounce his name. I've seen him a few times. I don't know what to make of him. Like, I've seen him sometimes and he's had stunning games, and then I've watched him a couple other times. I thought, he could have done better there, or maybe he's made a mistake or looked a bit dodgy. So I don't know. It could be Nissen. Not sure about him. Not really seen too much of him. Cooper, obviously I like Cooper. I think he struggled with fitness though since they've been promoted on it. Struyuk, again not sure. Adams in the midfield, who got sent off, so he will not be available in today's game. Yep, that's correct. He will not going to be available in today's game, or tomorrow's game. Sorry. Rocker, that Aronson, who looks pretty decent. Somerville is a very, very interesting player. You look at him and you think he's just very, very, very busy, isn't he? He just gets around and does stuff, and he's popping up with a few goals. Gnonto? Yeah, I'm not sure who he is, to be honest with you. Rodrigo, who had a cracking start of the season. Then had a bit of a lull for whatever reason. I don't know if he was injured or whatever, because I remember seeing him on the top goal scorer with Haaland, and I'm like, geez, go on, son. But then, yeah, then he just didn't really do much, and then he seemingly getting the goals again. So I don't know whether he was injured or what, to be honest with you. Let's have a look at his form this season. Rodrigo, let's go on stats, current season. 9 goals in 14 games, guys. Very, very, very impressive. He got 4 goals in his first 3 games, then didn't score for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, but then has scored in his last 4 games in a row in the Premier League, scoring 5 goals. He scored 2 against Spurs. So if we keep him out tomorrow, that'd be very, very good because he's not dropped to 0 since Leicester back on the 20th of October. 5 goals in his last 4 games, incredible. So he's doing really, really well. So again, we'd have to keep him quiet. That's big that Adams isn't playing. Yeah, well, I believe that he's meant to be pretty decent, Tyler Adams. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure I've seen him. Did I see him in the World Cup? I feel like I remember seeing him play in the World Cup. Pretty sure I did. So yeah, he's obviously clearly a good player. They've always had a bit of an issue with the disciplinary record, Leeds, haven't they, since they got promoted? I think they have a bit of an issue under Bielsa as well. Don't know if that's a myth, but I remember seeing him. A guy got sent off at Arsenal maybe last season, proper dumb guy. Absolutely snapped some guy like 2-footed challenge. By the way, I'm recalling this from a very, very sort of, I've been smashing the beers the last 2 days. So if this information is misleading or incorrect in any way, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? Let's have a look at some more of your comments. Let's have a look. KDB will carve them up, says Alec Johnson. Hopefully, because he's looked very, very good in the last 2 games. He looked really good against Girona. Again, you can't really read too much into that because it's a friendly. But then he looked very, very good against Liverpool, I thought he looked sharp. He's looking quick. He's looking very, very fresh. Scott Carson says another 7-0 incoming. I'm going to not say that, bro. I'm not going to go with that because you know what happens when I go for stupid stuff like that. Dash as the Leeds goalkeeper is inconsistent. My biggest concern is that if City play a high line, it will favour them so greatly. I feel that we'll need to play the boring game and kill them off in the second half. Possibly. Like I say, their crowd is going to be bang up for this game. You know what I mean? They could do with a win. Sitting in 15th position. It's not the best place to be. Obviously, there's worse places to be, of course. Let's have a look at the points difference between them and the relegation zone. They're currently on 15. Granted, they do have a couple of games in hand on certain teams around them. But they're only 2 points clear of Wolves, who got a massive win yesterday over Everton. So, they do have a couple, like I say, they do have a couple of games in hand there. But, of course, one of them is against City. So they'll be right up for this. They need to start trying to climb away from that bottom 3 because you can just get dragged into it rapid, And they're scoring goals. In the last couple of games, I think they scored, 3 against Leeds. Obviously, didn't win against Leeds, but they did score 3 against Tottenham, lost. They scored 4 against Bournemouth, 2 against Liverpool, 2 against Fulham. So they can score. They can cause you problems if you're not at it. And that's Somerville as well. I remember, who did I watch him against? Was it Liverpool? When they beat Liverpool, and Somerville was absolutely incredible. Pretty sure it was that game. You want a ref check? I'll get you a ref check. Hang about. Premier League fixtures, Leeds v Man City. Right, here we go. You go on the official Premier League. It should tell us who the referee is. Let's have a look. Nope, that's a video. Don't want to see the video. Can't actually see it on the official Premier League website unless it's somewhere around here. No, I can't see it, man. Maybe someone could put it in the chat for us. I can't see it. Nah, don't know. I mean, why does it not just say you know what I mean, referees this guy? I mean, why do I have to search pure? You know what I mean? It's on Amazon Prime, by the way. People in the UK asking what TV channel it's on. Shadows of Power. Yeah, I can't see it, man. Maybe could someone see it? And Stuart Atwell, I believe. Yeah, the police, man. The police are coming in it. Yeah, no, it's because I need to go back in prison. Yeah, so basically, guys, we're in for a tough match tomorrow night. I think it's going to be a tough one. Hopefully, City can get the job done. Anak says, because we have slow centre-backs, except Ake, the way we're playing, we need a Puyol. Interesting. Am I on the run? I'm not on the run. I live in the centre of Manchester, so obviously there's police and ambulances and all that kind of stuff all the time. Lizzie, yes. Member for 7. You probably remember Adam shutting down the Liverpool. Right, you're getting time out, Lizzie. Oh, no. Is that actually, he's American? Yeah, he's American. Nah, I knew I'd seen him somewhere. What do you think of the Liverpool fans hurting some 15-year-old Man City after the game? Was it after the game? Was it before the game? Look, it's disgusting. All violence is disgusting. And hopefully the person who's done it, you know what I mean, gets caught and the necessary justice is taken. And of course, more importantly, hopefully the 15-year-old girl who got injured is okay. So I guess, that's it. 15 years old, should be going to a football. No one should, but 15 years old, you shouldn't be going to a football match getting your head cut open by a bucket of coins. So hopefully she's okay. Not a great time, just after Christmas. Was it after Christmas? No, just before Christmas. Not a fan of the inverted right back. It works sometimes, don't work sometimes. It's one of them. Sometimes it can stink the gaff out, Newcastle away. Sometimes it can be very good when you dominate possession. All depends on the game. Sometimes it can. I think the point for me is that we need to establish when we need to bin it. So like during that Newcastle game away from home, we should have realised after 20 minutes, maybe even sooner than that, to be honest, that this is not working. That Walker being inverted while Maximan stood on the wing is probably not a great idea. And Newcastle came to play. They tried to attack us that day, and they did. Scored 3 goals. If the team doesn't really try to attack you, I think and they just sat back, I think the inverted fullback works. Because you can't really get punished if there's no one trying to attack you. You know what I mean? Not every time, of course, but I think it's the inverted fullback, it struggles when the other team leaves a winger up. That's my opinion on it. But we don't even know if Walker's going to play. That's obviously one of the big talking points. Is he going to actually play? Look, we'll continue this conversation and more in just a second. Our partners Bet Victor have released this video today about who they believe is the signing of the season so far and who is the player of the season so far. Take a look at this.
I've got one, Flav. I've got a major one for you, mate. And this is he was the most exciting fullback in English football last season. He helped one of the biggest clubs, a former 2-time European champion, get back into the Premier League. He was so dynamic, exciting on the ball. Defensively, he was a leader. Got Nottingham Forest through the playoffs. Goes to Tottenham Hotspur, doesn't play a single minute, and is treated like rubbish on the street. Jed Spence is the biggest flop, not to his detriment, because he's a fantastic lad, and he's a fantastic footballer on his day.
But you don't know him.
I know Nottingham Forest fans, and they say what a good leader in the dressing room he was and all that. He came on loan to you lot, to Forest, and you've completely derailed his career for no reason. So
Jed Spence having a little snifter of port over a game of cribbage. What a top boy.
Top lad. He's a top lad.
You've ruined his career, though. I don't know why we're finding that funny, to be honest. You've ruined the poor lad's
career. So, here's what I want to do. Quick game, right? That clip was from Last Man Standing. Links in the chat and in the description. Go check it out after this. Whack me in the chat right now, yeah? Signing of the season, flop of the season. Now, I know what most of you are going to do, so try and be creative, you know what I mean? Because we all know basically what you're going to put in. But whilst you're putting them in, and I'll read as many as I can out in the chat, my signing of the season, no bias, has to be Erling Haaland, right? And I say no bias because obviously I'm a City fan, so people might be like, yeah, you're saying that. But 50 million quid. In fact, I think it was less than that. Was it a bit less than 50 million? Anyway, 50 million quid ballpark figure, right? We don't pay any of that money for like a year or something that it was being reported. So we've actually not even paid £1 for him, according to the journalists that were covering the transfer. Scotty Moore, we signed Grealish last season, bro. This season, brother. This season, flop of the season. See, I know a lot of people will just be like, Núñez, obviously it's Núñez, but I don't... Let's have a look at his stats again. I don't actually think he's flopped that hard this season. 9 goals in 20 games with 4 assists. That's not flop. It's funny, you know what I mean? And he's not lived up to an expectation, but it's not the flop of the season. Flop of the season. I mean, I'm looking at someone maybe like Anthony at United. Is he really doing much? He likes to do them roulette things on the ball. I don't think he's a great player. I think he's lazy as well. I think I'm looking at someone like that. Cucurella, yeah, a lot of people in the chat saying Cucurella. And, you know, that's a great shout. Let's have a look. Cucurella. That's not a bad shout for flop of the season, that. Let's have a look how many minutes he's played so far. Obviously, 60 million quid he went for. He's played 1,100 minutes, 18 games in total. Gets subbed on or subbed off quite a bit though for Chelsea. not, yeah. He's probably, and you listen to, I've heard Matisse, the Chelsea fan from the Big Six show, and I've heard him say that he's not really lived up to expectations this season. So yeah, and under the 60 million quid. I mean, this is the thing with Cucurella. He was never worth 60 million. Man City were completely bang on with their estimation of 30 to 40 million. They were bang on. And I'm so glad. I would have liked a left back, right? But I am glad that we didn't cave and pay the 60 million. I would have liked a proper left back, you know what I mean? Like, sign like one that could have been here for the next 5 or 6 years. But he was a flop, so yeah, possibly Sterling. A lot of people in the chat saying Sterling. Should we have a look at his start? He actually got off to a decent start, however, Chelsea fans now starting to see what's going on. 5 goals in 19 games. Not great, especially when they lack goals, Chelsea. So yeah, he's not really done very well. Calvin Phillips is an interesting one because depends on how you judge it. Because at the end of the day, if you just went off cold hard facts, yeah, 42 million. He's played 90 minutes for Manchester City. However, he has been injured for the full season. So I feel like you have to take that into consideration. I think it would be harsh to say, we're just giving it him because he's only played 90 minutes. He's been injured. I mean, let's judge him on his minutes. When we're judging Cucurella, when we're judging Sterling, when we're judging Anthony, these players, we're judging them on the minutes. So I think that's fair. Koulibaly. I think Koulibaly's not fully flopped, Dash. I think he's done okay. I don't think he's lived up to the expectation that I had of him. I really like Koulibaly. I thought he was going to absolutely slam. Probably not absolutely slammed. J-Lings, Tyrone Douglas, a little bit out of the box there. Think it's a great shout. Yeah, probably another one that's not lived up to expectation. And as well, is on big cash. I'm pretty sure, in fact, I need to Google this, man. Lingard, wage, Forest. I'm pretty sure when he signed, he was on that big cash. 80 grand a week. Oh, no, wait. 200 grand a week. Huh? Oh, it debunked. So apparently, they said it was 200 grand a week. And then it said that Forest Lingard is only 80 grand a week plus add-ons. But then the same newspaper. Oh, no, the different newspaper says it's 200 grand a week. Anyway. Don't really matter what he's on. He's probably flopped. That's probably fair. Scamacca. Yeah, has he been injured as well, though? Oh, nah. Scam. I mean, the fact that it's got scam in it. What a funny joke. Scam. I'm so bad at spelling football players' names. Scamacca. There we go. Gianluca Scamacca. Sick name, but has he got 6 stats this season? Looking at his stats. 21 games. 6 goals. It's not great, man. It's not great when you spent 36 million quid on him. I'll probably agree, probably up there. Paqueta. You know what? Paqueta's not a bad one, you know. Paqueta's not a bad one because when he come in, everyone was like, this guy's going to be sick. But has he been sick? Like, to be honest, I probably not. We do actually have a resident West Ham fan in the chat who comes in and watches our streams. If he's here, maybe you could let us know. But 15 games for Paqueta, no goals, 3 assists. You could argue and say, well, he's playing in a very, very poor West Ham side at the moment. Obviously, they're not looking great, are they, West Ham? They're not looking great. So maybe that's part of the reason. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's part of the problem. Morgan Gibbs-White, yeah, again, probably 20-odd million, 25 million. He's playing for Forest again. It's kind of difficult. Send the presser link. The presser's actually not out. The presser was usually at 2 o'clock, bro. That's why we normally do the presser now. But the presser's not out until 10:30, so we'll do another stream tonight. Matthias Nunes went to Wolves and done nothing. That's a very good point, actually. I remember doing a transfer. I remember doing a transfer stream with you guys in the summer, and I'm pretty sure we would have spoke about Matthias Nunes at some point coming to Man City. And he's not really done that well at Wolves, from what I'm hearing. Arthur, Liverpool, yeah, good one, but he's not. Again, a little bit like the Calvin Phillips. He's not played. Also, I think they've only got him on loan, so it's probably not as bad as Calvin Phillips, to be honest with you. Mopay, yeah, I mean that was just a stupid signing anyway, Sam. I said at the time, I said at time, what are they doing? You don't sign Mopé for goals, so unless they've signed him for an attribute that he has, or maybe they like his work rate, or something like that, then fair enough. But he doesn't score. He doesn't score goals. So, again, bit weird. Yeah, now Tyrone, that's been debunked, that. It was actually 25... Morgan Gibbs-White was 25 million, with 25 million worth of add-ons to make it 50. If they end up paying the full 50, depending on what the add-ons are, then you could argue. Dennis Zakaria, again, yeah. Again, not really played a lot, if at all. I think he's played like 2 games or something. But again, you know what I mean? It's not great, is it? Anyway, good chat that. If you want to watch more on sort of player of the seasons, flop of the seasons, all that kind of stuff, go check out the video. The link is in the description and pinned comment. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to their channel as well, and of course, let them know that City Extra sent you in their comment section as well, man, so we can see who's going over. Appreciate all that. Right, let me see if there's anything else on this preview from City Extra. Like I say, it's all coming out. It's all coming out tonight. We have got some comments, actually. We've got Jesse March said on Erling Haaland. He's obviously worked with Erling Haaland before. He said, it will help us, I think, a little bit, but it will motivate him on the day. But it will just motivate me as well. The time I had with Erling was just outstanding, and we had an incredible relationship. In general, I have some ideas of things we'll try to do, but it will come down to luck on the day and in certain moments and in finding ways to contain him and hoping that we can still find ways to punish him as well. I'm not entirely sure what that means by punishing him. He said he was on Erling Haaland, Jesse March. He says he was born here in Leeds. His father has a history at the club, and he has, I think, the club in his heart because of that. When I got the Leeds job, him and his father were both incredibly supportive and excited for me. Obviously, I know how good he is, that he can be at his best. It'll be important to manage him on the day. I've been asked many times, how do you manage Erling Haaland? The answer is, I think you have to have a keen awareness of where he is at all times. Interesting, I'll come back to that in a second. Certainly, his ability to run hard into the box in transition, do whatever it takes around the goal to get on the end of plays. He's always thinking about where he can be, so he can be a finishing, and his instincts are incredibly unique. That's very, very interesting. The answer is, I think you have to have a keen awareness of where he is at all times. That's a very, very good point from Jesse Marsh, but also a point that is very, very difficult to answer. Because if you look at the Haaland goal against Liverpool, okay, Joe Gomez is just stood there. But Haaland stood 2 yards behind Joe Gomez when that ball's crossed in. Joe Gomez is probably thinking, I've got this easy. You know what I mean? He's 2 yards behind me. What makes Erling Haaland so, so special, and I've said this all season, it's his movement inside the penalty area. And why I find it so interesting and so... It's interesting, it's intriguing. The reason I find that is because you don't normally get that exceptional movement at a player at only 21, 22 years old. Normally, that comes later on in the career when they're having to use their experience. Maybe they've lost a little bit of pace, they've had a few injuries throughout the career, they're having to use their brain a lot more. That's when you start getting the poachers. He's doing that now already at 21, 22. I just think, yes, that is correct. You need to have a keen awareness of where he is at all times. But the problem is, where he is at the time when you know where he is not where he's going to be when he puts the ball in the back of the net, as per Joe Gomez found out against Manchester City earlier the week. Do you know what I mean? His movement is simply stunning. I think it's the best in the business. I've not seen anyone have the movement of him. I think his movement's better than Sergio Aguero's already. I just think he's absolutely incredible. He's a fox in the box. And this is why he'll get called the tapping merchant or whatever, because he will score just a lot of tap-ins, but it's how he gets the tap-ins that makes him special. And at the end of the day, a goal's a goal, right? He's rarely offside. Again, more evidence and more proof, James, that his movement is simply stunning. It's the best movement I think I've ever seen from a striker. Ruud van Nistelrooy had good movement. Ruud van Nistelrooy was another one with good movement. And they just know where to be. They know where to be. And if you can start 2 yards behind your defender's not... So you look at the goal that he scored against Liverpool. You think Joe Gomez in that situation. The ball's out on the left-hand side. It's going to get crossed in. He's near post. He's got Haaland in behind him, right? He's probably thinking to himself, unless this ball is inch perfect, it just goes over the top of my head and then drops, because Haaland's behind me, That's the only real chance that Haaland's got of scoring. Okay, so basically the cross is going to have to be absolutely perfect for Haaland to score. It's going to be high enough to get over Joe Gomez, but not high enough where it doesn't then miss Haaland. So Joe Gomez is probably thinking, it's not too bad. If the ball comes near post, if it's a lower cross, then I've got a 2-yard head start on him. I should be able to clear it. Yet Haaland manages to make a 2-yard advantage disappear and get there ahead of Joe Gomez. And now a lot of people will look at Joe Gomez and go, that's really poor defending. And yeah, maybe there's little more things he could do. Maybe he could potentially open his body up a little bit more, so he's got a little bit more of a view of, a bit more side on. Where's the ball coming in at post? Where's Haaland? Is he making a move earlier than expected? But realistically, that goal was because of the movement of Erling Haaland. That's what's got the goal. It's really, really difficult to defend against. Let's have a look what you guys are saying. Alvarez needs to come back ASAP. He's one of our game changers. He'll be back soon, man. He'll be back soon. Obviously, Pep Guardiola said he thinks he'll be back just before the New Year. Obviously, we play Everton on New Year's Eve. In fact, I was talking to my mate yesterday. He reckons it'll be back this week and he will be unveiled at the Etihad on the 31st against Everton before the match with his World Cup, medal and that, which I think would be really nice. Whether he'd be on the bench for it, I don't know. Maybe it'd be too soon. Depends what condition he comes back in. But yeah, maybe we'll see him. I think the first time you'll probably see him is Chelsea on the 5th. How would we play with 2 strikers? We actually did a stream on this, Harrico, a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago. So maybe go back on the stream, the channel and try and have a look at that. I'd give Alvarez as long as he needs. Let him celebrate. I agree, Sam. I agree. I said I wouldn't have him back until after New Year. I just let him have it now. But if City want him back, maybe for New Year's Eve, you can understand why. We've got a big game coming up against Chelsea, and if he comes back on the 2nd, will he be fit and ready to go for the Chelsea game on the 5th? Maybe not. Don't know. Is Phillips back? I've not seen anything. Granted, I've not really been looking over the last 2 days as I've been, celebrating and that. You know what I mean? But like, I've not seen anything about him being back in training. I would imagine that he would be back in training pretty quickly. To be honest with you, Zohib says he is in training, so there you go. City need to win all the remaining games. No more points dropped to win the title. I mean, at the moment, it's clearly in Arsenal's hands, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, we can win as many games as we want. I guess you'd have to beat Arsenal home and away, and then you can still win it. But Arsenal at the moment, the way that they're playing, is just they're just grinding out results. Like I say, yesterday they did all right. You know what I mean? Like, West Ham were poor yesterday. West Ham were poor, but you can only beat what's in front of you. Andy says Phillips needs to lose weight to go back in the team. Yeah, and that's the rumours that's coming out. Well, not rumours, that's what was confirmed by Guardiola. So hopefully he'll be back in soon. Ruben Diaz is reportedly out for 6 weeks, Sidera. So yeah, it's probably not going to be till the end of January, I would imagine, which is a little bit disappointing because this run that we're going through now is just incredibly difficult. We really could have done with his leadership, but players like Laporte, who stepped up at the end of last season and was fantastic. John Stones, who is, in my opinion, probably the best defender we have. My own opinion, I just love him. Ake, who's been brilliant, barring a game against Liverpool. Akanji, he had a really good start, and then there's lots of it. Maybe he can do better if Walker comes back into the team. Don't know. Is it now the time to take Arsenal seriously? Says Hannah. All the media saying that they're winning the league now. I think people saying Arsenal are going to win the league are very, very premature. Very premature. Granted, we have played 16 matches, right? However, we're not quite halfway through the season just yet. They've got Gabriel Jesus, who's injured for 3 months. And ultimately, Man City have been here before, time after time, season after season, and done it and been successful. Arsenal haven't. Arsenal last season should have finished in the top 4. They didn't. So, this is why I just keep on saying, I'm just waiting for the inevitable collapse of Arsenal. Because and I say that because that's what they've done for a long time. I'm not saying it because I don't like Arsenal. I quite like Arsenal, I like the way they play football and that, you know what I mean? But that's what they've done for a long time. So until they change that, until they start winning titles, until they start going on these mad streaks which win them trophies, then I can't really sit there and go, yeah, like I'm proper scared of. Yeah, I'm slightly concerned. Of course, who wouldn't be slightly concerned? But am I as worried now with Arsenal as I was when Liverpool were top of the table and we were chasing them down? No. Because Liverpool won the Champions League. They've been in Champions League finals. They've won the Premier League. Arsenal haven't done that yet in recent years. So until they do that, that's when I'll start taking them like mad serious. So yes, they are a title contender. Yes, they are our main threat. Am I as worried as Arsenal? Am I as worried about Arsenal as I was about Liverpool? No. I think that's completely fair and reasonable to say. You know what I mean? Tom's a Leeds fan. He says, our games have been very mixed this season. We could have up to 11 players out for tomorrow, which is not good at all. Even our first 11 would still lose 3-1 to you. Well, actually, Tom, I don't know if you've just joined, but we had a look at your Leeds home record this season. You only lost 2 in the Premier League, according to the website I was on. So, 2 out of 8 you've lost, which isn't too bad. And one was against Arsenal, 1-0, and the other one was a 3-2 loss against Fulham, which clearly seems that you were pretty close there. Let's have a look at the injuries then for Leeds. He's saying that they've got a bit of an injury crisis. Oh, jeez. Injury crisis. Luis Fernando Sinisterra, ankle foot injury. On December 22nd, Luis is making great progress and we feel he's on track. We have to be a little cautious with this injury, but we're hopeful that he could be back in a couple of weeks. He can be back in training. Potential return, 8th of January, so it looks like he's out. Tyler Adams is suspended, we already know that. Patrick Bamford is in for a late fitness test, according to this website. On December 22nd, they said, so when he gets sick, I think it disrupted his return to training, but we expect he'll be back in training as well. Then it'll be, can we get him up to speed for the Man City match? So, is Bamford going to be available for tomorrow? We'll find out. Somerville, what? No way. Foot injury, December 22nd. Yeah, he was on the pitch today and he should be in training as well this week. Sounds like he's going to be probably in there. Rodrigo was scheduled to play in Monaco until the afternoon. Then he was feeling a bit tightness in his hamstring. He's apparently going through a late fitness test as well. Is that's the Rodrigo that plays up front? Isn't it? Yeah, it is the Rodrigo that plays up front. Okay, so will he be available? Liam Coops is out with a minor calf injury. And Jack Harrison had a small abductor injury. They should be in training this week. So again, late fitness test for Liam Cooper. Klitsch has a virus. Don't know what's going on there. Jack Harrison, again, late fitness test. Meslier, he has sort of a test tomorrow AM where they do sort of internal checking and then he's clear. He'll be back in training. Sounds like he'll be okay. Archie Gray, we're in this situation with his age and he's still growing that we have to shut him down for about 6 to 8 weeks. What? We had to shut him down. What is he? A computer? There's a little defect that he has in his ankle. Okay, doesn't sound very good for him. He's been shut down. And Stuart Dallas, I think that's the guy. Did he snap his leg or something? I don't think he's going to be fit either. So yeah, sounds like there's quite a lot of... yeah, Tom, mate, it's not looking good, bro. Not looking good for Leeds' first team. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at City's actually. I know what City's is, but like sometimes you might just be like, right. So Alvarez obviously, boom. Ruben Diaz, not there. Calvin Phillips not there. So really, we're pretty much at full strength. Man. Yeah, I remember that Dallas injury, man. Pretty wild. Yeah, so they've got like pretty much all the team out of injury. Like there's quite a lot of late fitness tests there. So maybe it could be like now you might look at it and go, Leeds might be like, nah, our team's dead. You know what I mean? City fans might be like, boom, we should be playing a weekend side. However, there's quite a lot of late fitness tests in there. So by the time the starting 11s come around tomorrow at 7 PM, they might actually put out quite a strong team. We bottled top 4 because we didn't get anyone in January and party injury, says Henry, Arsenal fan. Well, that might be the reason, brother. Yeah, but ultimately, that's what Arsenal do, innit? You know what I mean? So will they go into? I've said for a couple of weeks now that if Arsenal don't go in to the transfer market in January and sign players, then they are stupid. They are stupid. Because the first thing I'd be doing is signing another striker. And I know Nketiah scored a good goal, and I know he looked all right yesterday, but ultimately you're going for a title, man. You're going for a title. And you think you're going to have this chance next year as well? With Champions League, and with Liverpool probably be back, and United will probably be stronger, and Tottenham might be stronger. This is your best chance, in my opinion, for Arsenal to win the Premier League. So, for me, they should be signing players on the January the 1st, man. And if they don't, we'll see in it. What do you think of Edison right now, says Dash? I think Edison's playing alright, bro. I think Edison's actually improved this season with Ortega coming in. I think that's one of our signings of the season, what no one will talk about, is probably going to be Ortega. Free transfer, brilliant backup goalkeeper, and he's put a little bit of pressure on Edison, and I think Edison's performing better. Will Edison play tomorrow? I would imagine, so long as he's been in training, for long enough, and Pep looks at him and goes, "Yeah, you look fine, you look ready to go on that." I would see no reason why he wouldn't start. So yeah, I would imagine that Edison would play. In my opinion, both great goalkeepers though, and Ortega's probably the best backup goalkeeper we've had in a long time. A long time. I thought he was really good against Liverpool. Thought, making saves. Thought he's good on the ball. Yeah, looking good. Right, cool. Is there anything else? Let me just have a look. In fact, Kevin De Bruyne was having a little chat yesterday. Riyad Mahrez has been speaking as well. Riyad Mahrez says, "We have to hit the ground running. We are currently not top of the Premier League. We're currently third, Riyad. Can you believe that? And that is where we want to be. We'll take it game by game, but our aim is to try and win another title. There are lots of strong teams in England who could still win the league. We're not just focused on Arsenal, although they have been very good so far. If we want to win the league, we'll have to be ready as soon as the league starts again. Leeds are a big club, and it's a hard place to go, but we know what to expect from them. We will be prepared for it, and hopefully we can come away with the 3 points." Well, it wasn't difficult last year, but it was difficult the year before, so hopefully we get another performance of last year. Kevin De Bruyne has been speaking. Let me go through this before we wrap up. Kevin De Bruyne on Phil Foden. He says he's still that young boy who just loves to play football. Every time you see a ball, he's running to it. Sometimes it's different with other players, but he's probably one of the biggest talents I've ever played with, and his ceiling can be so high. He's already won 4 Premier League titles, and he's 22 years old. He's doing well for himself. He's very smart as a player. When there are a lot of tactics, you still have that guy who has a little bit of magic, and he's one that has the magic to do lots of different stuff. Phil Foden can achieve whatever he wants. The ceiling is so high. He's already done so much for a team who have to win all the time. He's competing and playing most games. He can do that for the next 15 years if he wants. He can become whatever he wants. And then speaking about Alvarez, when he came into Man City, they were speaking about this young talent from Argentina, and we saw he was really talented. You don't know what will happen when players come from South America, but he's already seemed like an adult player for us. I'm happy for him. He's really nice and really shy, but he can call himself a World Cup champion, so he'll feel great. He's settled in really well. Maybe he could have felt that he could have played a little bit more. The season goes on, the more he'll play. He's actually scored quite a few goals. His English is not that bad, and it's coming from Argentina to England, where it's a whole different world. So he's adapted really well, and he's happy here also. I am happy for him. World Cup champion, Julian Alves. Surely it will return very, very soon. But yeah, guys, I'll probably go live again tonight once we've got more comments from the press conference, which happened in secret. So yeah, stay tuned. Make sure you have your notification bell on, because I will probably go live tonight. Hopefully Jordan can jump on as well, and we can go through the press conference and get a little bit more preview. Maybe we could do score predictions, starting 11, all that, you know what I mean? So yeah, other than that, everyone have a good Christmas. Everyone have a good Christmas on that. We'll do a transfer stream at some point, Dash. Don't you worry, brah. We will do one. Everyone have a decent Christmas, mates. I had a great Christmas, man. I had a great Christmas. The dinner was mega. The drinks were mega. The company was exceptional. Yeah, it's good to hear Flair Boss. Yes, Sam. Yes, Michael. Good to hear Tom. Roast turkey. Yeah, the turkey, man, the turkey driller. Right, cool. I'll leave it there, guys. If you could do us a favour now, right, before you all get off, hit the link in the description or the pinned comment. Go and watch that video that I just shown you a little bit before, that clip where Boovy and all them guys from the Bet Victor guys are talking about the signing of the season, the player of the season so far, and the flop of the season. I put a comment on there on behalf of City Extra, so go check it out. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed the stream, though. If you have, make sure you drop a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and we will see you in the next one. See you in a bit, guys.
Bye.